So, May the 26th, I believe, is Pride up here in my county, County Durham, which is always a nice surprise because it's very 1950s, you know, in attitudes and everything about the place. It even looks the same still. Very what I imagine Alabama to be like in my mind. But yeah, it's so obviously I'm going to have a rainbow fragrance thing, more rainbow colours for the coming summer, I suppose. I mean, spring hasn't been the greatest so far, has it? I'll try and walk down the side of here and not die. So yeah, it's quite simple. It's just different fragrances representing the colours of the rainbow flag. Well, the modern version of the rainbow flag anyway. So yeah, let's crack on. So first up is red, and the fragrance I picked for red is an unusual one, you think, for red, but it's called Wild Summer Crush, and that's from April Aromatics, who make kind of more natural smelling fragrances. I actually have that on today, and it's basically this kind of red grapefruit. That's predominantly what it's all about. There is a heck of a lot more going on. There's obviously some florals. There'll be other kind of citrusy in there, but it smells like a red grapefruit juice. Oh look, bluebells down here. I have never been down here before. Pollution, but yeah, it smells of. Come on, you. It smells of red grapefruits. And it's got the kind of the zestiness of the peel, gives it a little bit of sharp freshness, and then there's that natural sweetness that comes through it. And I know people kind of think of grapefruit as being quite bitter, quite astringent and whatnot, but I don't find it that way. I love grapefruits, by the way, but it's kind of fresh and zesty and invigorating. And there's also some resinous notes underneath, which gives it this warmth and this depth. And there's obviously going to be some woods to kind of hold it together, but it's a very nice fragrance. These are all going to be brief. It's going to be a very short video. So that's Wild Summer Crush from April Aromatics. So for orange is going to be the really obvious one for me, and I always like to describe it as like quite a dark sunset kind of crimson orange. And that's Bouquet Encore from L'Orchestre Parfums. Now this opens with an initial blast of black pepper and spice and also that kind of dark orangey feel. Now listed is tuberose, so you're looking at the kind of sweeter side of tuberose, but not too bubblegummy, etc. And I also think there's orange blossom in this because it has that texture and it has that feel and that kind of rich dark orange smell about it to me. And again, as it goes through it, the pepper kind of fades and it gets oranger and oranger and oranger, and oh dear, and it just keeps very warm and it's very enveloping. It's got the right amount of sweetness. It's got the right touch of florals. It's got that warm, enveloping kind of feel about it. Beautiful fragrance. So that's Bouquet Encore from L'Orchestre. Next is yellow. This ain't just any old yellow. This is a luminous, radioactive, ultra fluorescent yellow. And this is Reflection. How could I not mention this one? Predominantly mimosa. A kind of aldehydic touch through it, some kind of clean musks. I think there might be osmanthus. I always think there's osmanthus in this with the mimosa. Ylang ylang is very, very, very bright yellow, and it's very, very good. It's such just a ray of sunshine. Now there is no sunshine today because obviously it's May actually as I film this, so yeah, but this one just makes you feel good. There's so much about it. It's like strobing a luminous yellow light. It's magnificent. I really enjoy it. And if you like mimosa, you have to try this one. So that is a Reflection from Masca Milano. Next is green, and I have picked Polly from One Way Bridge. One Way Bridge, that indie New Zealand brand. And Polly was the first one I tried. It's a very special one to me. You wouldn't think it was normally my sort of fragrance, but it is very the green rolling hills of Middle Earth, the mountains, the kind of unusual flowers and greenery to us over in Europe. It's kind of, it looks the same, but it isn't the same, and it won't smell the same. Well, it's over to the side of the world, and it's got lots of these New Zealand notes in it. Like, I think there's one just off the top of my head, like a New Zealand flax kind of thing. And it's also got lots of greenness in there. I think it's vetiver. There might be, I don't even think there is violet leaf, but it does smell of grass and meadows, and there's little unusual floral smells in there. And it smells of sunshine and green. And again, it just takes you to me in my head. I will stop stereotyping New Zealand at some point, but basically of Middle Earth. This is where they were all exploring, and this looks a bit like it. And the smells I'm getting from this, the greens and the beauty of it, and there's a little bit of a kind of cheekiness in the base, but that's probably from musks. Aren't the main part of this one, but there will be some musky feeling in there. So yeah, that's Polly from One Way Bridge. So next up is blue, and I've gone predictably for Nuit Bleu from Maison Violet. Yes, it does smell blue. This is citrus, and it starts off quite a chalky, dry iris that kind of becomes more of that kind of sweeter, violety iris, if you like. And obviously this smells of blue. It does have a little bit of a nod to a traditional blue fragrance. I think it's the way the citrus mixes with the other notes, isn't it? That somehow, I suppose it's just what we've got used to, isn't it? What we're conditioned to smell. And obviously iris is a blue flower, so you get that kind of blue smell about it. Even the chalkiness, you can imagine the chalky iris. I know it's not like this at all, but it being quite blue or crumbly up and that. It's very elegant, it's very classy. I suppose you could call it a white shirt one, a white linen pants on a hot day, kind of classy, easygoing fragrance. But because it's by Maison Violet, it's done beautifully. There's also a little bit of a kind of soapy feel in it, which is a nod to the fact I believe the soap came first from this very ancient brand. So yeah, that's it for blue. Is Nuit Bleu from Maison Violet. Next is violet, and I have a massive wealth to choose from for this, but I've gone for probably one of the most famous, Missia from Chanel. This is beautifully kind of powdered makeup room boudoirs. You've got a purple haze in the air, well, a violet haze in the air. There's violet iris, I think there's rose also in this, but that adds to kind of the makeup powder, if you like. It's like a powdery pinkness rather than a strong rose. There's a little hint of leather, giving it this kind of beautifully seductive kind of feel. But it's all about the violet flower and the magic of it, that kind of rich, sweet vein running through it, and the it is just the violet scent. And Chanel haven't really done many, have they? And it does transport you back in time to them classic days of the 1920s and things like that. Basically, a magnificent fragrance. Again, keeping it brief. So that is a Missia from Chanel. Finally, this colour isn't in the flag anymore, but it was in the original one. Pink. And again, I have quite a plethora of pink fragrances. Which way should we go? This way. and obviously I've picked the king of pink, the greatest pink fragrance ever made, groundbreaking. We all know where I'm going with this. Yes, it's Dupont. It's just a legend, isn't it? It's orange blossom, this weird cherry cough syrup feel, cinnamon. I think there might be lily of the valley, jasmine in there, woodsy notes. It's all just rammed in there, and it doesn't really smell particularly natural. But this is a legend of all our times, and I suppose it's kind of prominent to this because it ultimately, I think it was a statement of, don't be scared who you are, wear what the hell you want, no matter what gender or whoever you are. You can wear a sweet fragrance. Why can't you? And it became a big party scent. It's a scent that took me through my youth, my first ever fragrance, then my uni years. I still wear it now, as we know. There's just so much I could say about this, but this is the pink fragrance, the groundbreaking fragrance. So that's the end of them. So yeah, this video, you know, hopefully it'll be one of my shortest ever. I think this could even be under 10 minutes long. That's some going. Whether it's up, it'll be up round about that time. Hopefully the Saturday, but who knows. But yeah, I mean, making a rainbow coloured fragrance video is great, but the kind of added meaning is something, it will sadden me probably for the rest of my life because society's going backwards. But let's hope every day, one day, is a pride day where you're just proud to be who you are and proud to love who you love. I don't really understand. I understand why it's still a thing because, again, society is backwards, isn't it? But hating people for who they love, you know, making them feel like outsiders because they love people. And again, it's one of them weird things, isn't it? I believe this probably came from the Romans, who also practiced it. There was a point in time, wasn't there, where just loving who you love and being with whoever you wanted and doing whatever, you know, consensually, of course, was kind of the norm. And then religion came along, well, one specific religion, and all of a sudden this make-believe sky gnome apparently said, although, you know, it's a book of fables, that it was wrong to love who you love. And that's where society started going wrong. It's called control, folks. You know, you can't go to war with people who you might fancy or want to be with or have a relationship with, can you? So yeah, anyway, what fragrances would you scent the rainbow with? Have you got any favourite colour? Have you got more than a certain amount of coloured fragrances in your collection? For me, I think purple and violet, if you like, is my most common. Anyway, thanks folks, bye.